UFC Fight Night. Okay, hold on. UFC Fight Night Seattle. Hold on. UFC Fight Night Seattle. Cejudo versus Song. I'm gonna get my predictions on the main event. And only the main event right now, which I'm gonna talk about Cejudo versus Song. Really quick thoughts. I'm not gonna make this super long. I just had a thought, right? Cejudo's back fighting. Cejudo's fighting the number, what is he, 8? I think Song is ranked number 8 in the division. Yeah, number 8. He's been 8 for a minute. I remember I think he fought Gutierrez at number 8. He fought Jan at number 8. Like, he's kind of been beating the lower guys, keeping his ranking, losing to the upper guys, Sandhagen, Jan, and keeping his ranking, you know? Here's the thing about this fight, man. This fight, to be honest, this fight isn't going to say much about Song Yadong, but it will say a lot. It will say everything about Cejudo, right? For Cejudo, why do I keep yawning while I'm talking? I feel like I have to yawn. Hold on. I didn't get much sleep. However, for Cejudo, this fight will determine whether or not he can continue to compete at 135 in the UFC or whether or not he can compete at all in the UFC. What I mean is, I know he was talking to Khabib about going to 125. Khabib was kind of hyping him up about it. And don't get me wrong, Cejudo is still I was going to say a respectable fighter, but that's not even doing him enough credit. Like, he's still competing at an extremely high level. He lost a split decision to Aljamain. Everybody does. Everybody will. There's nobody that was on a good camp, on a good Aljamain, as good as he can be at 135. There's nobody at 135 that was beating him. Maybe Merab. Merab probably would have beat him the same way Movsar beat him, just by outgassing him, but they would have never fought. And then he lost to Merab, the guy who seemingly literally came through and just took Aljamain's place. I mean, he just beat Umar. And Cejudo just said Umar is the reason why Cejudo didn't, like, he's ducking Umar. I know he was kind of being, funny, friendly. He's like, Umar's the reason why I'm going to 125. Umar's the reason I'm going to 125, man. Let me tell you, because that dude right there, that was the future, man. That's what he was saying to Khabib, right? And I get it. Even though, I mean, Cejudo, maybe in his prime, he's a little older now, has the perfect skill set to beat Umar. But the X factor of cardio and conditioning, I feel like that might just be up there with KO power, bro. Because you got to understand, those Pakistanis have fought a lot of people with KO power. They don't really be getting KO'd like that, you know? They can't really land on them. But that cardio is relentless. You can't, if you have a wrestling base, it's irresistible. Like, it's inevitable, right? You can't get away from me. I'm gonna get my hands on you. You know what I mean? Now, O'Malley had like a height and a reach advantage, so it's easier to keep your distance. But if we're comparable in size and distance management, like, I'm gonna get my hands on you. I'm gonna wear you out, right? And so that's something that Merab had, obviously, that Cejudo doesn't have. However, he clearly stated that he's kind of moving out the way, not really thinking about the 135 belt. It's not really a good path for him. I mean, if he really wants it, he can beat Yadong. Bro, it's always something. If I'm coughing, I'm yawning, I can never just talk in a video. He can either beat Yadong, he could beat Song, and then who they put him up against? They probably would put him against Jan, maybe? A fight that would have happened if he didn't retire. Maybe he could fight Jan, depending on who Jan fights. I think Jan should fight Umar. But realistically, here's what people think. People think it's going to be O'Malley Merab, Umar Figgy, Sandhagen. They could give Sandhagen to Cejudo. That leaves Jan out there. That's not really fair. Jan just fought him. They could do Sandhagen, Jan too. Does anybody really want to see? That would be an amazing fight. But would you rather see Jan and Sandhagen 2 or O'Malley and Sandhagen 1, Umar and Jan 1? Like, come on, bro. Cejudo's not gonna fight Figgy, so I guess that would leave him out. But he would have just fought, so he has time to kind of get. All those guys can fight against. Well, not Umar, which may why Jan might jump back in. But anyway, that's besides the point. Cejudo's not going for the 135-pound belt because he's gonna get all the way up there to fight Merab for what 5 rounds this time. There's no point. I'm just gonna be honest. There's just no point. Like he's at 38. There's no point in even. I'm sorry. So he's talking about going to 125. Now, do I think that's going to happen? No. Do I think the UFC is interested in Cejudo? No. I think for him to come back and fight Aljamain, they were like, whatever we can do to make this guy sell, sure. I think if it was O'Malley was the champion, I don't think Cejudo comes back and gets a title shot. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he has to fight Merab, let's just say, for some, let's say it was after Aljamain and Sugar, and then, I think he has to come back and fight Merab. For sure. For sure. 1,000%. 100%. Why would I go back? Why would I say 1,000 and 100? That was weird. He definitely has to fight Merab. If he goes down to 125, they're going to treat him just like a brand new contender, bro. That's just the way that is. He's going to have to fight Ursay. He's going to have to fight Kai Kara France. He's going to have to fight Kyle Sakura. Cop, somebody. At least 2 people. Bro, you haven't been the champion in like 6 years. You haven't fought in the division. Can you make the weight consistently? You're older. Got a big torso. Little legs. No. They would much more likely give Pantoja the double champ shot. And I don't think they're going to do that because you got to understand, like, okay, if Volk is the double champ, it's like, okay, cool. He's active, he's loved, cool, right? If Izzy's the double champ, same exact thing, right? Cormier was selling dope because of the John Jones feud. And he picks up the phone. He answers the call. Nunes, same. She picks up the phone. She knocks people out. She's the biggest female star. It's obviously clear she deserves it. If Pantoja wins that 135-pound belt, bro. Listen, 125 and 135 already don't sell the best, right? 135 is okay. And I don't count UFC 299. I don't count UFC 306. It doesn't count, bro. Like, O'Malley got, like, come on. Like, if Aljamain headlined the Sphere and 299, it would have sold. If Merab headlined 299, it would, like, come on, bro. Like, anybody, and that's the thing. When we look down the history books and 5-10 years go past, people are just going to look and go, wow, yeah, O'Malley really did sell. But nobody's going to go back and look at the card and go, oh, he had Poirier on it. He had MVP debuting on it. The prelims headliner was Gelton Almeida versus Curtis Blades. The top 10 heavyweight clash of, like, a rising star. Wow. Like, that joint was stacked more than 300. People aren't going to remember that. That was a crazy Miami, like, and it wasn't just O'Malley. They go crazy for Miami, but there's a reason why they put O'Malley on Miami. They would have never put Aljamain on Miami. But I say all that to say, not that I think Pantoja is necessarily like he probably sells terrible, but I don't see them making him headline in any pay-per-views. You know what I mean? So for him to have 2 belts. It's not really no story there. It won't be the craziest fight. I think Merab gets him. I think his wrestling can't compete with Merab. Merab is Sambo, Judo, and he's been grappling with Aljamain and Sarah Longo for like 10 years. There's nobody that's out. Like, you can take him down. Like, I think Umar took him down. That's because Merab, when you look at Merab fight, what he fights, he doesn't fight. He's not desperate for positions. Right? Some people fight like, I'm getting this position. That's not how he fights. And even when he's getting shot in on, most people don't shoot in. But when you can even see when people shoot in, he's like, okay, let's see what you got. Bounces, give him a couple hits. If you get him down, he's like, what do you think? You're going to have me in half guard, pass, go in crucifix, pass, get my back? Who's doing that to Merab, bro? The way he's shaped and the way he's strong, how strong he is, like, bro, you're just going to be hanging. Like, what are you, like, come on, bro. Like, what are you going to be doing, dog? Like, let's be for real. What are you going to be, So he'll be like, okay, you got me down. I'm going to just get back up, whatever. Now you spend a lot of energy because he knows he has more energy than you. So he's like, I can keep playing this game on offense and on defense. He's just not usually on defense. I mean, who really wants to grapple with him, And I think Umar kind of wanted to show, like, I can wrestle too. And I think he realized, wow, like, I'm tired. Like, it takes a lot of energy to get this guy, and he's just not tired, So I think that Pantoja, I don't even think Pantoja, he might try a little bit, but Pantoja's wrestling is usually a counter to like an Urseg or Kaya Sakura having like explosive striking. He was even beating up Asakura on the feet, like he was piecing him up, you know. But that's usually like his counter to getting strike. Or if they're comparable, like Moreno has decent grappling, he'll just mix it in, you know? You ain't just mixing and wrestling on Marab. If Umar couldn't do it, Pantoja can't do it, right? And nobody just wants to gas himself out. And so I just think it'll be like, I think it will look like a Peter Yan versus Marab, right? Obviously, Pantoja's not the striker Peter Yan is, but I think it'll be on the feet. Marab will, you know, the same thing. He does the same. He doesn't have to change it up, bro, because he has an X factor. You only have to, you know, sometimes like Mighty Mouse DJ will break down fighters, and he's like, they do the same. If he's like critiquing, you know, Henry Cejudo, any of them, they'll be like, he does the same thing every fight. He doesn't evolve. He doesn't game plan differently for different fighters. He doesn't bring in a new styles for different fighters. He brings it, like when he talks about Sean Strickland, he has the same game plan every fight. And that's a problem when you don't have an X factor, right? Like Alex Pereira has an X factor. He has the left hook, he has the leg kick, he has the striking. He's a better striker than everybody. He shouldn't really change up his style, right? Habib had an X factor. His grappling was far above anybody he could ever fight. Merab has the cardio. The best way to implement cardio as a weapon is to grapple, to touch somebody and get them to squeeze their muscles and build lactic acid and tire them out, right? He shouldn't change. Why would he go out there and just, okay, I'm going to spam leg kicks, all right, and then I'm gonna go for the bot? No, use your X factor. If you have an X factor, our GOATs didn't have X factor, so they had their X factor was their mind, being able to change up their style and coming into every fight different. GSP, John Jones. John Jones kind of had a natural abilities, but he didn't have like he kind of, him in total was an X factor. Mighty Mouse, like John Jones had the long reach and the size and all that, and that helped. But if he didn't have his intellect and his game planning and his strategy, it would have been for nothing. There's a lot of tall people to get beat up. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling. Point is, wow, I really got off topic. I apologize. Yang Sedong versus Henry Cejudo, right? Henry Cejudo should win. He's a caliber fighter that should beat Song Yadong. Song Yadong has shown that he's better than the bottom tier of the top 15 of the bantamweight division, but he's not quite in the upper echelon of it. Peter Yan, Corey Sandhagen, boom. I wouldn't expect him to beat Umar Nurmagomedov. A good matchup for him would be Figueiredo. However, that doesn't do much. That doesn't allow either one of them to catapult, but they both just got pushed back by Yan, so it probably makes sense just as a fight. If they were to both lose, or if Yang Sedong were to lose again, or whatever, you know, or you can not feed him, but give him like a rising contender. I don't really like any of the rising contenders right now. Like I do, but they're all like need a little bit more time. Like a Taporia, I think thickness is gonna be good. I like a Marcus McGee. You know what I'm saying? Like I think there's a couple that are coming up, but they're just not quite there yet. Those are the ones I'm watching in bantamweight. The bantamweights I like aren't really ranked yet. Marcus McGee is ranked. Holy crap, he's 14. Dope. Not yet. Let him build his name a little bit. Let him fight let him beat up like Kyler Phillips or like a. Yeah, I guess you could. Mario Batista, he's good. Wow. Oh, Montel Jackson too. I like Montel Jackson. I haven't watched him too much though. Anyway. However, like what I think is going to happen, I think Song Yadong is going to win the first round. He's going to come out strong, throwing big shots. He's going to chew up Henry's leg. Not chew it up. He's going to throw some leg kicks. I think Henry's going to throw some back. Henry's pretty slick. I think he's going to throw some power shots, and he's going to be very hard to take down in that first round. I think Henry's going to try and single with the head on the outside and try to run the pipe. He might get it, but Song Yadong is probably going to power his way up. And I think it's all about if Henry's age and his training allows him to last, allows him to stay healthy throughout the fight. First round, I can see Song Yadong taking. This is a 5-round fight, right? Yeah. I can see Song Yadong taking it. After that, if Henry implements his wrestling. Now, Henry's not like a Bilal, right? Like, he's not going to be relentless with it. He's gonna strike, and he's going to, go in. He might make it a dog. Yeah, he's not going to be able to stay on the outside. Otherwise, he's going to get Marlon Moraes. Like, he's going to get chewed up. He's going to get hit. He's going to have to go in. Attack the body and just wrestle and try to, which is interesting because Song Yadong likes to implement wrestling too, a lot. To when he tried it against Yang, he did it against Chris Gutierrez, but he's not going to be able to get far with that with Henry. Merab wasn't even able to get that far. Like when you think about it, Merab took him down sometimes, but didn't control. Well, Merab didn't try to control. But anyway, I say all that to say, Cejudo should win 48-47 or 49-46 if his skill set and his body allows. If not, Song Yadong will win a 48-46 just because Cejudo's a competitor. It won't mean much. I mean, it will. It'll catapult him to like number 4. Now that I think about it, it's kind of like a alley-oop for him, right? Nope. Henry's number 7 now. Oh, never mind. Jan's all the way at number 2. Oh, okay, never mind. Not alley-oop. It makes sense. But it doesn't do much. If he loses, Henry probably retires or leaves the division. And he's just, I mean, Song's going to be probably stuck with like a Rob Font or a Figgy. Or Marlon Vera. Someone has to fight him too. Who would I... Song Yadong versus Vera... What's the most interesting fight for? I'd like to see a Peter Yan versus Marlon Vera, but they're too far away. I would like to see how Peter Yan picks them apart. Yeah, everybody else in the top 5 beat him. Figueiredo beat him. Sandhagen beat him. Peter Yan. Oh wait, no, they didn't. O'Malley beat him. Yeah, never mind. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I guess I'm gonna have to think of a new title. My whole thoughts on the bantamweight division. One of the more interesting divisions. That's why I kind of ran about it, but I didn't mean for this video to be that long. Sorry. Let me know how you're gonna win, and Prize Pick sponsor me. I'll be killing it. Not really, but come on.